Venezuela's deposed President Nicolás Maduro and his wife Cilia Flores are due to appear before a U.S. federal court today. The hearing will take place in the Southern District of New York around noon. This will be their first appearance before a U.S. judge since they were taken out of Venezuela over the weekend. They were first taken to the USS Iwo Jima, a U.S. Navy warship, before being flown to the U.S. Now, both arrived in New York on Saturday afternoon. The couple are to face charges of narco-terrorism tied to alleged trafficking of tons of drugs in the U.S. Judge Alvin Hellerstein, a 92-year-old Orthodox Jewish federal judge, has been appointed to preside over the criminal proceedings against Maduro and his wife. Hellerstein is among the longest-serving active federal judges in the country. Over his career, the judge has handled terrorism and national security cases, complex financial disputes, and major civil lawsuits, including claims linked to the 9/11 attacks. After months of heavy machinery and troops deployment in the Caribbean and speculation surrounding Trump administration's decision to strike Venezuela, Washington struck Caracas on 3rd of January, a move that by far remains unprecedented in history of America's South American policy books. A military maneuver has not only taken the world by surprise, but also the Americans. Our report gets you the latest. Take a look.
On the last day of 2025, Washington's elite army commandos were on standby in the Caribbean region, waiting for the perfect opportunity and the precise moment to storm an armored safe house in Caracas to capture Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife. Last Friday, the US president gave a go-ahead, and under the cover of darkness, the highly trained Delta Force arrived by helicopter and descended into the compound where Maduro, clad in a grey sweatsuit, and his wife Cilia Flores were residing. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, confirmed the move, speaking about Washington's absolute resolve.
Over the course of the night, aircraft began launching from 20 different bases on land and sea across the Western Hemisphere. In total, more than 150 aircraft, bombers, fighters, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance, rotary wing were in the air last night. Thousands and thousands of hours of experience were airborne. Our youngest crew member was 20, and our oldest crew member was 49, and there's simply no match for American military might.
However, Operation Absolute Resolve began much earlier. It began in August, when a clandestine team of CIA officers slipped into Venezuela with a plan to collect information on Nicolás Maduro. With the US embassy being shut in Venezuela, it was highly risky terrain for CIA operatives to be in the country. General Dan Kane said that US intelligence reportedly tracked every single move, from where Maduro ate to where he moved around, his pets, and his family.
After months of work by our intelligence teammates to find Maduro and understand how he moved, where he lived, where he traveled, what he ate, what he wore, what were his pets, in early December, our force was set pending a series of aligned events.
This information was crucial to the Delta Force and probably one of the most dangerous operations since members of the Navy's SEAL Team 6 killed Osama bin Laden in a safe house in Pakistan in 2011. To prepare its flawless execution, the Delta Force commandos reportedly rehearsed the extraction inside a full-scale model of Maduro's compound that the Joint Special Operations Command had built in Kentucky. In a bid to pin down Maduro's exact location, the US made other moves intended to pile pressure on Maduro. A week before eventually capturing him, the US carried out a drone strike on a port facility in Venezuela. The operation began around 4:30 p.m. local time on Friday. In Venezuela, US cyber operations cut power to large swathes of Caracas, shrouding the city in darkness. By early Saturday morning, explosions boomed across the country, with more than 150 military aircraft, including drones, fighter planes and bombers, participating in the mission. not a single American service member was harmed. US President Donald Trump himself said that once the Special Operations Forces made it through the compound to Maduro's room, the Venezuelan leader and his wife tried to escape into a steel-reinforced room, but was stopped by the American forces.
All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military working with U.S. law enforcement successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have.
Trump says that Washington was even prepared for a second wave of attacks, but it remains confident that the need won't arise. Bureau Report, WION. World is One.